How do, mate? You're right.
Good.
Good man.
Morning.
Hi.
Not hearing you. I didn't hear it in anything you said. Can you hear me? Oh, I can hear you. I don't know. Give it a second, I guess. Yeah, Dylan, I didn't hear anything you said. Oh. Let me try. Let me try another phone. Usually that phone works. Fuck, man. Come on. Fucking thing.
It's me.
Try this one. Hang on.
It's me. You are good. Fuck. You are good.
Can you hear me? Say something.
Yeah, can you hear me?
This phone. Yeah, I can hear you now. I got two phones. Usually the other phone works. This phone usually doesn't work, but it's working now. I don't know. If I go away, I'll come back to you with this phone.
It's not you. Everyone can hear you. It's me. Everyone can hear you. It's me.
Okay.
So you're perfect.
Right. If I go away, I'll come back. I'll get back on.
Yeah, I know.
Who else is here? Is Paul here?
No. Oh, here we go. I'm back. No, Paul's not here. No one's here yet.
All right.
So hang on. I'm just going to set this up. I just need to set this up quickly. Cool. Do you know what? If I can't get Rumble to work, then bugger it. I can't do nothing about it. For whatever reason, I can't get Rumble to work. That's why this is a pain in the ass. Oh, hang on. I know what I'm doing. Hang on. I know what I'm going to do. Hang on. This is what I need to do. I'm a plonker. Hang on. Home. This is it. Edit. Then. Oh. Right. Then add it back in. Save changes. Now let's see if this works. Let me check Rumble, mate, and then I'll be there with you. I have no idea if it's working now. Fuck it. Anyway, if it's not working, it'll come back up another time. So let's not go live. You are live. Okay, so I might be live on Rumble as well. I have no idea. Anyway, that's enough of my problems. Let's just go through this. If it's not working on Rumble, guys, apologies. It's working on YouTube, so that's the main thing. So, hello, Christine. Hello, Tim from Denmark. Good morning, Melissa. Dandy, hello, Dandy. Dandy, just so you know, Josie was kind enough to donate you a membership, so thank you to It's Me Josie. But hello, Dandy. Hey, Dylan. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Matthew. Hey, hi, Dylan. Can't hear you, but can hear Matt. Well, I hopefully you can hear us both now. Matt, I sent you a message on Facebook from Christine. Christine sent you a message on Facebook. Hello, Hans. Hello, darling. Long time no see, Hans.
Hello,
Good to
Hans.
see you. Sandra, we can hear you both now. Good. There we are. I'm sure you'll check at some point. Christine, it's all good. Hello, Tim. So here we are. So I did tell people we got this today. Paul might be with us. Mighty Meat might be with us. Dog Mama might be with us. Dr. Hines will be with us later. So okay, so you know, potentially a lot of people, potentially not. We'll see who turns up or not. I also told everybody, well, on my streams this week, that we got next week we got this stream, and then probably a bit longer this stream, and then we've got another stream straight afterwards with Matt and Solomon. So, so we're going to talk about Matt's experiences for people that don't know, and then go to Solomon giving an update and stuff like that. And then yeah, it's a free, as always, it's a free flowing stream, but it'll be a long day next Saturday of back-to-back streams. But I'm looking forward to it. So what I'll probably do next week, Matt, is stretch this one out to about 11 o'clock your time and go straight into the others.
Nice.
So listen to me. If you can't be there for the whole couple of hours, that's fine, mate. But as long as you're there for the first half hour or so, that's perfect, you know. But you're more than welcome to stay for the whole journey. It's just I know that's a long day. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see with it. So we'll go and get straight into this, mate, because there's a lot to be done here. Minaj, she's still up here.
We're doing grubs right now, right?
Yeah. We've got grubs for the next few weeks.
Awesome. Last week was a lot of fun.
So, yeah, so we have got him. Let me just see here. Let me just see. Grubs. When's he up until?
He's being crossed by Grubs. Or by Diane.
It is. I think we got Grubs for the next 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks. So this week and next week. So we got Grubs. So depending on timings and stuff like that. So we're going to get straight into it. Because we got this handsome man waiting for us. This handsome man, look at him, clean shaven.
Hey, look at this. Shirt number 5.
He's a boy.
Look at that. Nice.
He's like he's like a boy. You're like a boy there. Look at you. You're a man now, but you're a boy there. Look at that. Jesus. Right. Same with everybody.
I think I had a hard-boiled egg for breakfast that day. One hard-boiled egg. It's delicious. Fantastic.
Delicious. Talking about delicious. Talking about weirdos. Talking about boys. Here he is. Mighty Meat's in the house.
Mighty Meat.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are you?
How are we doing?
Not bad.
Listen to the sound quality. He's got great sound quality. Listen to that.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Mighty
Meat. He's got his the sound quality coming from Mighty Meat is just it's levels above.
I need to because Matt's very critical of my sound, and I get it. I understand it. I hate it, but everyone else says it's fine. So it's like I got this. So I need to fix it. I need to fix it. Jonathan's my main man, but I'm not sure if he's tucked me over or not. But yeah, I'll have to have a chat with Mighty Meat about it because it's too echoey. I get it. Okay, I get it. Right. We're gonna go. Mighty Meat, I'm gonna send you a message on Discord in a bit as well, just so you know.
Okay.
About NFL. So I'll do that in a second for you. Happy days. Okay.
What I don't have, gentlemen, is camera. For some reason, when I just had a Windows update and my freaking camera won't work at all. So I'm troubleshooting that as we go. But
It's all good. So those of you that haven't seen Mighty Meat before, just look at me.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
just look at me. Essentially, I am Mighty Meat. He's my twin brother. So essentially, it's just two of me here. So just we can't show his face right now. So that's all it is. If you do wonder what he looks like, just look at this bad boy, and then that's what he looks like.
It might be too much sexy, so we might not want to do all that.
You see, now that we talk about sexy, Emma's in the house now. Look at her. Afternoon, lovely people. Hi, Em. This right here is Ideal Panel. So thank you very much, Mel. I mean, these two are much, much way above me, but they got to tolerate me because it's my channel. So, good morning, gentlemen in chat. Chrissy, good morning, Chrissy. So we're going to get into grubs here. As I say, Dr. Hines is joining us. Paul might be joining us, depending, and Dog Mama might be joining us. So we'll see. Here comes Matt back again. Yes, sexy hosts. Right, we're going to get into it. Right, I'll send you that Discord as well now, Mighty. Right, let's go in.
Whoa, Laver. He's wearing the blue robe today.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone follow the court's admonition over the weekend. Have a good rest. Thank you. Thank you for
it was a great weekend.
Participation and attention. State ready to proceed this morning? In the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
I believe we were in cross-examination of Detective Grubbs. So, sir, if you'd come on up. Morning. Just for the record, Detective, you took your oath when you testified last Friday. Do you still consider yourself under oath?
I do.
Thank you very much. Please proceed.
Your Honor, I just want to
Take your time.
make sure this screen is on. Thank you. Appreciate it. Morning.
Good morning.
Just want to start with Defendant's Exhibit D and talk about the searches. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. Detective, a map, Defendant's Exhibits D that we've seen several times in this case. Would you agree with me on that?
Yes.
Abbey Cross 46 is in this general vicinity where I've put an X. Is that right?
That's correct.
And this is the walking path that's been talked about, correct?
Yes.
And of course, the general area where the remains of Emily Noble was found is where I've just put that red X.
That's correct.
Just trying to reorient us since it's a new week.
Yeah, you can't.
Want to talk about, and then of course up here, we.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, you're not able to see what they're drawing on the screen. Do you understand? She would be circling something and it would be coming up and it would show you on the screen. For whatever reason, it didn't come across on Law and Crime. I don't know why. The station that's
Yeah, I'm with you.
But if so, I can describe to you. Do you know where she was found?
It was back here somewhere, wasn't it?
No, that's where the dogs went. Right where you're at now is where the dogs led the cops. Those 2 weeks apart, right there. Go down to the street. There you go. Take a right. There you go. Keep going. Keep right A little bit more right there. Right. Go north, a little bit north, up. That's right in there is where they found her. The dogs led them to where you were just before. Now that's where Emily was found. If you go left, yeah, just keep going. Right there. That's where across the street. Just go across the street from there. Yeah, that's right there. That's our house.
Yeah.
Just to let everybody know.
Yeah, I
Wow.
remember that was your
Okay.
house. I didn't remember where they found it, but I remember that was your house. Yeah.
That's our house. That's where the dogs went. It's just north of that, and that's where they found her. I mean, I don't know how far that is, but it's 200 yards maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not very far.
Wow.
Not like a mile, or it's not even a quarter mile. I don't think. I don't. You could see if you stand outside my condo and look down the street, you could see the houses where she was found behind. I mean, it's right there. I mean, it's I don't know, a couple minute walk. It's right. I mean, it's literally right there. And
Yeah, so close.
And which is strange is that, well, it's all strange, right? But the women that found her, there were 3 women that were they would exercise in the morning, you know, whatever that meant. But what they would do, and they would get together and they would search Westerville. They were searching all over Westerville independently. They were just doing it on their own. So they would go to places all over Westerville. On the Dateline, they said that they had contacted Grubbs and told, this was, I don't know, whatever it was into it, and told Grubbs who they were and what they were doing, and asked him, where should we look? And Grubbs said, don't be afraid to look where we've searched already. That's what they said on Dateline. And those women went right there. Why did they go right there? That place had been searched. I mean, the whole area around my condo had been searched by dogs, tracer dogs. Why the fuck would those women go there? I don't know. It's just mysterious to me why they would go and go in, especially that area. I mean, it's so close. Nobody thought she was anywhere near the condo. Why? I mean, why would she be? It's just so very odd they would go to that area and search and go into the woods where, I mean, you can't, like, there's no trail going into that part of the woods. It's like, it was so like overgrown, or
Yeah.
it was just very odd that they would go to that spot. It's part, and I brought them there. If you remember that part of the story on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They asked me, they're bring us to the spot where she'd been foraging lately, which was the bridge, which was up the road just a little bit more. If you can see that on the right hand side of the screen, there's a really thin line that goes up north to south. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And that's the bike path. Right there is where Emily was foraging just recently. So I took them there and we walked around that part of the bridge. And I looked at the woods and I'm like, I mean, I would hate to think anybody would ever bring her in there. Are you guys going to go in there and look? And they're, yeah. And then I said, well, there's other spots where she would go foraging. And I was like, do you want to go anywhere else? Do you want to go up here? Let's go up here and look. Because I wanted to look, but I didn't want to be away from the condo. It was like, being away from the condo was really odd for me. I wanted to be there when she got back. And they said no. They said, no, this is good. So they asked me to bring them to the very spot that she was eventually found. It was just really weird, man. I can't even really describe that.
Yeah. From that, we've got a couple of questions. Mel, don't be silly. It's fine. Look, I encourage everyone to ask questions, guys. If I don't think it's suitable to ask Matt in this stream, like last week, there's a lot of Diane questions. Keep them for the Diane videos, but keep asking questions. It's fine, Mel. Honestly, a couple of questions from Mel here. Have you ever spoken to those ladies at all, Matt? I don't believe you have, but you've never spoken to them, have you?
They testified. You saw them. It was more of that filler, like prop witnesses. I think they didn't have all 3 of them on. They had 2 of them that didn't. I mean, they didn't really add to anything. to me, it was just like, like we've talked about, they were just looking for they were prop witnesses. They just needed to fill up time. But they were on the Dateline. They got interviewed on Dateline, and they actually went out and showed Dateline right where they found her. And I guess they went to high school together. I mean, they're all 50 by now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't know each other. They just went. They all lived in Westerville, but they hadn't seen each other since high school. And it was a community thing. I mean, the community was like, they were freaked out. They're like, where is this lady? So these ladies were looking. We're helping look. I guess that's what I've been told, and that's what they testified to. And it's just, nobody in the world thought that she was anywhere near the condo. It got searched, man, all over the place. I mean, why would anybody think that she was there? I don't know. Yeah. You'd have to ask them why they went into that area. And when they described getting into the area where they found her, it's just so hard to get into. What the fuck are you doing in there? They were looking for. It wasn't easy to find her. To get into that area, these, like 50-year-old chubby ladies, you know what I mean, were getting down on their hands and knees going through places. It was crazy. They found her. I mean, it's just, it just doesn't make any sense why they would be searching there. You tell me. I mean, you'd have to talk to them, I guess. I don't know.
No, well,
I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, but you tell me in your right mind, what the fuck were they doing in those woods looking for her? And she could have been anywhere. And literally, she was 19 pounds when they found her, and she was surrounded by branches and trees and logs and shit. They just happened to stumble across right down the street from my house. Why would anybody do that? And then for Grubbs to be like, yeah, ladies, the best place for you to search is places we've already searched. It's like, what the fuck?
Right.
Yeah.
Why would you say that, Grubbs? And then, so they all, okay, so we'll start right from the beginning. Where's the first place you searched? The first place you searched is where Matt brought you. Well, let's go there and look. And that's where they found her.
This is a good question follow up on that, right? Again, a little bit personally, but have you ever gone there to that spot where they found her?
No one had ever gone there. No, it's.
You've never.
We would walk around the woods. There was no reason to go in the woods ever. So it's like a neighborhood. So we would walk the trails, the bike paths all over. I mean, I've walked past that place a million times, but to walk into the woods where she was, no.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Dayline did. Dayline went right in there with the cameras and with the women that found her. And if you go on Dayline, you look, go look at it, because you can move around in there. And you could see, like, right where she was found and where the cameras were, and they're all standing around. You could see cars go by on the street. That's how close she was to the street. I mean, you could see cars go by. No, I mean, to think that she was in there, I mean, I just don't get why anybody would ever think that she was in there. But those women got it on their hands and knees. They testified that they got on their hands and knees. What the fuck are you doing on your hands and knees? Going through woods.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. Right. The whole thing's just a mystery. And when I say, and for them, this is Tuesday, and I'm there's cops everywhere. I'm frantic, not frantic, but I'm like, this is weird, man. And there's cops all over the place, and they're starting to say things. I heard one cop say, as he's just like within earshot, he's like, 95% of people go missing. It ends up being their spouses that are responsible. And he made sure I could hear it. He walked right past me when he said it. So they're fucking with me already. But I'm trying not even to think of that. What the fuck did that guy just say that for? Then Grubbs and Peachy come up to me, and they're like, we need you to take us to the spot where Emily had been foraging lately. And I'm like, why would you want to go there? This is the bike path The bike path has a bridge that goes over County Line Road. There was a certain type of wood sorrel. It's a green that was growing out of the bridge, the decorative brick. And when Emily would pass there on her way home, on her walks, she would grab some of the wood sorrel and bring it home and clean it. We would eat it. They wanted to go to that spot, and it's literally right next to the road. That County Line Road's very well traveled. I'm like, why do you want to go there? I mean, she's not there. I mean, she would. I mean, it's so there's people all over the place. They're like, no, we need you to take us there. So I got in the car with them. We drove right up. They drove from my condo. Real short little drive. They parked the car on the side of the road, and we got out of the car, and I showed them the bridge. I'm like, this is where she comes. She's not here. Where is she? We look around. It's an open spot, and I'm like, all right, well, do you want to go anywhere else? And I pointed up the bike path, and I'm like, there's all these other spots. And she goes across the street, and she walks down these. They're like, no, it's okay. It's good. This is good enough. You can go now. And they didn't even give me a ride home. I just walked home. I didn't think anything of it. That was that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit weird, but I mean,
I know you probably that's Matt's perception, right? But I'm telling you, I mean, that's what happened.
Right.
yeah, no, it is a bit weird when you spell it out. Do you know what I mean? But let's be honest, this whole case is a bit weird. Doing so, it's
True.
nothing in this case really makes sense. So everything that you say is everything that happens believable in a way.
Why wouldn't they go in there to look? Why didn't they go in there?
Because they don't care. They thought it was a slam dunk. It's obvious.
About building a case. It's not about finding her. You could tell. Like now, I look back. They weren't ever looking for her. Not really looking for her. They weren't ever really looking for the truth. They were looking to build a case. If they needed me to go other places to show them other places to build a case on me, they would have. But they just needed me to go up there and do whatever the fuck that was to build a case. It was about building a case from day one. They were not looking for Emily.
It goes back to what we spoke about last week in your garage, where was it the box or there was something that was moved?
Cooler.
It wasn't. So they're just building that kind of, oh, hang on, that's strange. That wasn't there. He's moved this. They're putting two together, getting 10. But it's building a case.
I told them that I didn't touch anything. I said, this cord here is weird. It's not supposed to be here. But I didn't touch anything. I didn't touch I meant the cord, right? Because we were talking about the cord. They said, he did touch something. He touched the cooler. He's lying. That's what you got. That's what you got for. But that's an inconsistency right there, right? They got me saying, hey, I didn't move anything, but the cooler was moved. So they use it as evidence.
You lied.
That you murdered someone.
You lied in their mind. So yeah. Right. Let's move on a little bit. We've got Lou in the house. Hello, Lou. Welcome back, Lou. And thank you for becoming a TACO member, Lou. Let's go. Thank you, Lou. Loyal as always. Thanks, Lou. Everyone saying hello to Lou. And Baseball Dad. Hi, mate. Hope you're well from Indiana there. Lovely name, Baseball Dad. Just jurors. We have bears here that keep me out of those type of areas. I wonder what wildlife they have there. Yeah. Morning. Right. Let's get on a little bit here now.
The general area where the bloodhounds tracked on 2 different occasions. Would you agree with me on that?
Yes.
I want to talk about the search. Searches. Fair to say that on the 25th or 26th, Matt Moore took you to this path right here. Which day was that?
Tuesday, May 26th.
And you, I believe, testified under direct that you actually drove there with him. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And then you walked along this area right here where my finger is. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you agree with me that if you're walking from Abbey Cross to get to that path, that the most direct way takes you along county line?
Yes.
So you go there with Matt Moore. He says this is her favorite place to forage. What's the square footage of this entire wooded area?
I do not know that.
You never mapped that out?
No, ma'am.
What's the footage along County Line Road from the corner to where Miss Clark's house is? Did you ever measure that?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever measure the square footage from the electrical box to the entry point into the woods where the remains were found?
Not that I can recall, no.
Did you ever measure the exact distance from where the remains were found to County Line Road?
Yes, we did.
You would agree with me, 60 feet?
65 feet.
65 feet. And that was from where the remains were found to the edge of County Line Road.
Yes.
And I know the jurors went there, but that includes kind of, you walk up a bit to get up to County Line Road, do you not?
From down inside where the body was?
That's correct.
Yes.
So there's been a lot of testimony, and I know you've been in the courtroom able to hear it, about how this area was searched and this area was searched by both humans and dogs. But it's your testimony on direct, I believe, and tell me if I'm wrong, that you didn't actually go into the woods at all. Is that your testimony?
From County Line Road?
Sure.
Or period?
Let's talk about from County Line Road.
Okay. No, we did not.
Did you go into the woods from this angle?
Yes, we did.
How far in?
So probably 10, 15 feet in.
And at which point did you go in?
With Detective Peachy and Detective Alloway when we walked along the footpath.
And that is the search that you discuss in your progress of investigation report at the top of page 3, is it not? At 0944?
That sounds correct.
It's you, Sergeant Alloway, and Detective Peachy. You wrote in your investigative summary, did you not, that Detective Peachy, Sergeant Alloway, and I quote, searched the woods along where Matt said he and Emily walk. Do you remember that in your progress of investigation report?
Yes.
Okay. And so you searched in the woods according to your report. Is that right?
So he's saying 10, 15 yards. So if he went from here, like he just saying, that's only to about there.
All right,
Even
yeah.
that.
Literally,
Yeah.
I mean, from the north edge of the road, which is it's not up. It's correct when it's north, south, east, and west. From the edge of County Line Road to where they found her is 65 feet.
Wow.
I mean, how far is 65 feet? It's right in there. I mean, it was heavy. The foliage is really super heavy. I'll give you that. When he says that he went in 15 feet, he didn't go. It was searching. He didn't. All he did was walk along the outside of that patch of trees right there. He didn't go in. He didn't go in 15 feet. You can't go in fucking 2 feet. You can't go. There's too much crap. And he was dressed just the way he is now. I mean, he had the suit, the tie, the shoes. All he did was walk around the periphery of the woods. So, I mean, and then to think that no one smelled anything, especially that dog, they didn't smell anything because the dogs don't work. They fucking don't work. I'm telling you.
Right.
They got people believing that those dogs can smell bodies miles away in trunks of cars, and it's bullshit. It's all bullshit. I mean, Mighty Meat might be able to speak for that, but I mean, maybe there's dogs that do work at certain times, but the dogs that went in Westerville certainly didn't work. Who
No,
knows how
they're
many times they
unreliable.
walked there. Go ahead.
Incredibly
Mighty Meat.
unreliable.
Yeah, they're unreliable.
they're especially like the drug dogs. They're just so you can get a hit, so you can get a search of the car.
Right. It's a scam. Right. It's a trick to get in your car. I mean,
yeah.
And the Westerville Police Department didn't have cadaver dogs or tracker dogs. I think they had to hire people, or not hire people, but ask people from other agencies to come in and do it. There's just nothing going on there, guys. There's nothing. It's Westerville, Ohio. It's like heaven on earth. There's no crime there. So here's a guy with a dog that he's trained. He gets to sit around all day and never use. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, boop, they get a call. Boom, we got something to do. And they just came. They're just hyper, whoop. And they came in, and I remember the look on the guy's face. Just you could just see it. I mean, they were looking for crime.
Yeah.
They wanted to find crime, regardless whether it was a crime or not. That's what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. We got here, Mark. We got Baseball Dad saying, "We believe you since day one. They don't care about the truth. All they care about is about building a case and a win," which we're going with. Interesting question, which we can answer here for you, Baseball Dad. Do you think the judge believed the jury verdict? Well, this is interesting because Connie said, didn't she? Connie, who was juror number 8, Baseball Dad, if you see her interview with us, she said that the judge basically said, well done. This trial should never have come to this court. Is basically paraphrasing what the judge said. This case should never have gone to trial.
At the end of the trial, they had all the jurors back in the deliberation room, and the lawyers want to talk to them, and so did the judge, to see, what worked, what didn't work, both sides. So they kind of picked the brains of the juror. Why did you vote the way you voted? And when they were all back there, and the judge went back there, and thank you very much, guys, for a great job. And he told everybody that this case should have never made it to trial. Wow. That's what the judge told. And that's what Connie's telling everybody. Juror number 8.
Yeah.
Huh.
So the judge. If his demeanor through this whole trial, you can kind of tell he's trying to be fair, but he's wondering, what do you got it on this guy? Explain to me why I shouldn't throw this case out of court. He was during that deliberating Rule 29, right? And he's just like, tell me your case. And that's when Schiff will, oh, that's right. You guys aren't there yet. You wait until you hear this Rule 29, which is coming up real soon, pretty much. They don't have a case. They knew they didn't have a case. They knew they were joking about it pre-trial with my attorney, with Diane. They told Diane, you're going to destroy us. We don't have anything here. There's nothing here. They knew they didn't have anything there. They don't care. It's money. It's money, dude.
Yeah, they don't care about your life, though. Someone's life on the line. Do you know what I mean? So
it generates. The wheels of government got going, and it's just it's not just money with government. It's power. It's doing favors for people. It's just the ins and outs of the workings of the government. It isn't profit based, So there's always money involved in all of it. Once they got that ball rolling, which was nothing for them to do, they didn't need any evidence to get the ball rolling, and they didn't have any. It was like they didn't have any choice to do what they did because the train left the station. I say, once that train leaves the station, good luck turning it around. Good luck stopping it without looking like a dummies. So.
Yeah.
Question for you here from Mel. What's your first impression of Grubbs? I don't think we've asked you this. So what's your first impression of Grubbs when you first met him?
I didn't even notice him. I didn't notice that dude there until I was being interrogated. And then I was like, oh, you're that guy that I went and looked at. There were so many people around. So, and then all of a sudden I was being interrogated by him. And when I was being interrogated by him, I'm not a very tough guy, but I'm not, like aggressive like that, but he was not intimidating. He wasn't intimidating whatsoever. He was like a little kid. You know what I mean? I was just like, and then when he's like in my face, like, you killed your wife. And I'm just like, no, man, I didn't. Where are you getting this from? I don't understand. So I could imagine other cops being much more, like old school, rough you up. Yeah. Like Mighty Meat said, they didn't even block me from the door. I guess that's a big deal. When you go into an interrogation room, they're supposed to block you from being able to get out of there. It fucks you up in the head. They put me right next to the door, and it was
I was like, can I leave if I want to? And they're like, yeah. And I was like,
His interrogation was horrific. Like,
Right.
It was bad. Like, you could tell he was a newly minted detective just from his interrogation. So
Right. Before we go on, we've got the heartthrob here. We've got the heartthrob here coming, so we've got to put him on screen. So we all know who the heartthrob is, don't we, Matt? So as usual,
We
Dr.
do.
Hines is in the house. He's in the
Hey.
house. He's here. He's here. He's waiting. He's ready. He's ready to go. He's got to have his input now. Here he is, Dr. Hines, my man. No hat though. How are you, sir? Heartthrob. The women, everyone's got their knickers off now, swinging it, going, Dr. Hines. Bras are off. Yes, let's
Love Doctor.
go.
All thanks to you. All thanks to you with the best intros in the world.
She even pops in. Josie hasn't even been here all day. You pop in, Josie comes in. So, hey, Josie. I mean, just in time, exactly. Dr. Hines. So there we are.
Hey, Matt, how you doing? How you feeling?
Hey,
You
Doctor.
all right?
What's going on, man? What's happening?
I'm good. And Mighty Meat, how you doing?
what's up, buddy? I'm
It's
good,
been a
man.
while, man. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Chat's going wild. Dr. Dimples, Dr. Hines, Oh. Right.
Dylan,
There's
how
no
are you?
chance.
You good, Dylan?
I thought Grubbs looked very shifty and trustworthy from the get-go. That's Lou. She's got an eye for it. Another sexy panelist. We are very lucky, ladies. That's it. Emma, Dr. Sauce, Josie, Dr. Sauce. Hey, just curious. Right, we're getting to, whilst these ladies simp all over Dr. Hines, we'll get back into the trial. Let him simp with them in chat, so it's fine. Right, let's get into it.
Along the wood line, yes.
And that was on the 26th in the early sort of 9 a.m. hour.
Yes.
You saw nothing of evidentiary value?
No.
You smelled nothing of any decay or rot or any kind of rotten smell?
No.
Because, of course, if you had seen something or smelled something, you would have indicated that in your report, would you not?
Absolutely.
With respect to, I just want to ask a couple more questions about, you were at the press conference, were you not, on, I think it was September 20th?
I believe September 22nd.
22nd. So the remains were found on the 19th, and then there's a press conference on September 22nd of 2021. Does that sound right?
Yes.
You were there, Sergeant Alloway, the prosecutors sitting at front counsel table here, and the chief is there.
Yes.
And a press conference is an opportunity for your department or for law enforcement to convey information to the community that they find to be reliable and helpful.
Correct.
And during that press conference, you would agree with me that it was conveyed to the community being the public, that the area where Emily's remains were found was searched 3 times by humans and once by cadaver dogs.
That sounds correct, yes.
And you have previously, in a separate matter, been asked under oath about the search of that area. Do you remember that? At a probate hearing?
I don't remember the question, but I remember being asked about it.
Fair enough.
They're talking
Question,
about
if you recall,
when they were trying to sue me. He testified. They came in with paperwork. I'm sorry, it's early here. They sued me for my condo. An attorney, Emily's attorney, her attorney got together with Emily's sister and sued me for the condo. He had to testify at one of when they went to court one day for whatever, and he testified at during our civil case, as they're ripping me off, as they're suing me for my house. During that, he showed up at it and he testified. So if you're wondering about what she's talking about him testifying at during my civil case that was going on for the condo. They sued me for the condo, my power of attorney rights over her finances, and the executorship over her will. And this is I mean, they didn't know anything about anything. They should have just stopped all the civil proceedings, all the will stuff. No death certificate was ever produced until after I was arrested. But they started coming after my assets, her assets. No one knew anything about it. There was no pending charges against anybody, right? Well, this guy showed up. That's how they work in Ohio. I'm sure they work like that everywhere. They all know each other. So this cop shows up, Grubb shows up and testifies for my wife's attorney, Thomas Teneff. This is part of the other part of the story where they ripped me off while this is going on. If you're a suspect in a murder case and the police are telling everybody you're it, they come in and they just wipe you out.
Wow.
They didn't wait till after my trial to start doing all this. They did it before my trial. So, well, anyway, that's what he's talking about. That's what, when he says he testified at something, he's testifying during our civil proceedings.
Do you think that they civilly they knew that there was a weak case or something, or they wouldn't have known what was coming?
Grubbs told my sister-in-law and my wife's attorney that I was guilty. So they just said, fuck them. You know what I mean? Come in. They pulled all these legal maneuvers. There was no justification for any of it because Grubbs told everybody that I was guilty. Look, the media, look what they did. I mean, the media thought I was guilty because Grubbs told everybody that I was guilty. So, and that's just the way it goes, you know. That's part of police tactics to get people to break. If you're under that, if you're guilty, and that's tactics to get you to confess because it's a pressure you can't believe. And all of a sudden, you're not only being investigated for murder and they're following you around town, you can hear the clicks and clacks on your phone. You can see them follow you. Now you're getting paperwork from lawyers saying that you have to move. You have to leave. You have to leave your home because you don't own your house anymore. So it was part of the coordinated effort to fuck me. You know, it's horrible.
Right.
And other people that are a victim of this, when your spouse goes missing, you become a target for government, law enforcement. It's like they destroy you on all levels. And it's we're a small club. I call it a club. The spouses of the missing. I talk to people. We become friends. We're a very small group, but if your spouse goes missing, you become a target, and they destroy you. They destroy your life, and it doesn't have anything to do with guilt or innocence. It's all about churning the government. It's like a you ever have like a guy that churns an account, you know, like some guy that manages your money. All of a sudden he's making all these maneuvers for no reason, just to churn it. That's what this is. They're churning an account.
And we got a rhetorical question here, which is a good question. I guess there's no law to stipulate that they can't do it. That's the problem. There isn't a law. It means they can do whatever they want.
They have
go civilly first.
What's that thing they have? It's a protection against any kind of civil litigation.
Qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity. They literally can do whatever the fuck they want. This guy, I've got like 20 bullet points where they lie in the box. They're not afraid. They don't care because what's going to happen? What did this guy lose by doing what he did to me? Nothing. There's nothing to stop him from doing it again because it's a win-win for him.
Yeah, there's no accountability. It's all So
it's they don't really give a fuck about you would think. I mean, for one, you have to be a sociopath, and that's what this man is. He's a sociopath. I just talked to his ex-wife. Seemed to be nice lady. I don't think she was calling me just to like be a scorned woman. She was being, I think she was being really honest with me that this man's a sociopath. He does not care about, he didn't care about me. He didn't care about Emily. Didn't care about the truth. He didn't care about trying to figure out what's going on. These cops don't care. And neither do the prosecutors. They're not there to try to figure out what's going on. They call out the justice system to fool you. It's like a fake name. It's like, oh, we're trying to get justice for you. No, they're not. No. They're doing what government does. This is what you get when you get a monopoly in government. You get corruption on this level. They know that they can just do whatever they got to do. He's just trying to justify his means. He's playing with the toys. He's making the phone calls. Look at all the helicopters and fucking, dogs and all these people walking around. Look at your tax dollars at work. Look at us. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. They're just, it's a show. It's a fucking show, man.
I think there's a type of mindset though as well. It's not just police. It's you've got business owners, you've got entrepreneurs, you've got this mindset of you don't mind fucking anyone over, and unfortunately our police officers like this guy is in that mindset. So he probably is not intelligent enough to have his own business. So he knows that he can become a detective easily enough and just fuck everyone over. So it's a narcissistical sense, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere because you don't mind shitting on people, So this question here.
Let me one more point, and then I'll let it go. And Diane Menashe, my attorney, got on a podcast after it was like 6 months after, whatever, the end of my deal, and she got interviewed, and she had a great year. I mean, she knocked 3 cases out of the park. The doctor, Husel, me, and then she went up north to Cleveland and got 2 guys out of prison that were there that didn't do what they said they didn't. She got those guys out of there. She's the head of their pro bono department at her firm. Which is really great, right? She's doing some really good. But besides that, during this interview, she's like, their case was so weak that before trial, when they got together, they told, this is what Diane, I'm paraphrasing, right? What Diane said about this meeting that they had. Grubbs told Diane that she was going to destroy him. I mean, they were literally laughing about it, how weak the case was. He knew that there was no evidence against me, and he knew he was going to lose. And they're literally laughing about it. Not fake laugh. These are lawyers. They get together. The prosecutors, defense attorneys, it's the same thing. They're the same people, really. And they knew that I'm repeating myself. It's kind of like, if you can think about that in your head, why would they be laughing? Why would they even want to bring a case like this to trial if they knew that they were going to lose? Just think about that. Why would they bring a case to trial that they knew that they were going to lose? Because it's not about whether they win or lose. They don't care. That's not what this is about. You got to get your head around that. And
right.
Much love to Diane Menashe, but what does she get if I don't get arrested? What does she get if I don't go to this case doesn't go to trial? Nothing. Mm-hmm. You know what she gets if it does go to trial? You don't even want to know how much that woman gets when this case went to trial. Thanks, Diane. Thank you for saving my life. I mean, but at the system as a whole, it's about money. It's not about finding out what happened to Emily and punishing the person that did it. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how much you can speak to this, Mighty Meat, but this question is for you, really.
Yeah.
Do you guys get bonuses when you used to work as an interrogator? If you let me ask you broadly: do police officers or these detectives get bonuses if they were to like get a certain way of conviction, or if they were to be successful in the cases that they take on?
It's not as explicit as that. It's more if you're not doing that kind of thing, and if you're not getting convictions, and if you're not bringing people in and sending them away for life, then you're probably not getting a promotion anytime soon. So it's not as explicit as, yeah, I get a bonus if I
Right.
send 60 people to prison this week, but
Right.
it is definitely known that if you're not getting convictions, if you're not locking people up for a long time, then you're probably going to stay where you're at, and
Yeah.
that has to do with bonuses too. So it does make a difference, and it does have an impact. It's just not as black and white
Overt.
as, oh,
Yeah.
you get $500 for locking this guy up. So
Their currency is different than business, just a little bit. It's not. It's in the private sector. It's money. That's. I mean, it's really profit. Government, it's favors, power. He might be chief of police one day. Who knows? Or what could turn into down the road?
Yeah.
It's dirty. It's corrupt, and it's not as black and white like he says as it would be if it was, like if he was you get paid per conviction.
Right. Yeah.
But he's definitely working for a type of currency, and it's not true. They got us fooled to thinking they're there to help. They're not fucking there to help.
No.
Yeah.
Well, the United States Supreme Court ruled that they don't have a duty to serve and protect, and that's when you knew things kind of flipped, and we were kind of in rare air that we probably shouldn't be.
When did that happen?
That was a couple of years ago. I don't remember the exact case, but clearly stated that they don't have the requirement to serve and protect. So
it went from them literally, they're supposed to put their lives on the line to protect your rights as a citizen, right? Your God-given rights. And now it's getting them home safe or something, right? It's all officer safety. It's like, what the fuck happened? Where are all the men in this world? What the?
They're gone.
You're supposed to be helping us. You're supposed to be protecting our liberties, not violating them. Now they're violating
right.
them, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Before we move on, I know Matt won't mind me sharing this because, if he does tough shit. But Matt sent me a very brief message. And just do it for people that might not understand what we're doing here. This is, this originally, this series was supposed to be 8 weeks. And we're now at 12 weeks or something like that. It's important. It's important because it's a way, as I say, when I first got into this, I just thought, we'll watch a trial, we'll see it, we'll have Matt here, it's great. But Matt sent me a note, very brief note, I only put a line of it, but he said, thank you for giving me space to express myself. And that hits to me because this is important for people to realize that, this is more than just a trial. This is a way for Matt to just get everything out, speak about it, stuff like that. So everyone needs to listen to what he's been through because luckily none of us has ever been through any of this. So Matt, when you say sorry about this, sorry, mate, this is your platform. Say whatever the fuck you want. You know that. So
just if what I've been doing the last however many weeks coming on here and talking about this trial, if it affects one guy, if imagine if Zachary Anderson, something happens, someone sees this, someone all of a sudden says, yeah, you're right. I think that I was kind of pro-establishment, pro-cop. Now I see the light a little bit, and a guy like Zachariah, and he's a dude that's in prison. They went through the same thing I went through. He got convicted, and he's innocent, and he's in prison. That could be me. I mean, if something could happen to it that I do that changes something or helps in some way to get a guy like him out of jail, out of prison, I mean, why wouldn't I be doing this? Yeah, I don't understand how you could go through what I went through and not do something like this. It's only once a week, you just get on.
Yeah, no, it is. No, I just wanted to explain to people, and also to you, to remind you, man, this is your this is your show, man. We're here, we're along for the ride. I feel blessed that you're even sharing it. So don't ever forget that.
I don't think I've kind of looked around, Googled. I don't see anything out there where you're going to be able to talk to a guy who was charged with murder, went on trial and got found not guilty, and to have access to a guy like that. I mean, where is it? I wrote a book. I mean, read the book. I mean, I looked for a book that had anything to do with what I've been through. I don't think there's a book out there that covers this subject. So if you're I mean, it's unique, right?
It is unique, and that's why I wanted to spread the love with some people like Dr. Hines, Mighty Meat, invite people on that to share as well. It's a bigger voice. If I didn't like these people, they wouldn't be here. You know, I didn't think they'd added value, they wouldn't be here. So, yeah, we love it. And talk about love, we've got Erin Hack here. Erin Hack. Here she is. Erin Hack loves it. She's one of my favourite people. Nosy bitch, but I love her. Matt, I know that feeling after watching Zach's trial and seeing the bullshit with my own eyes. I couldn't turn away. I could not do something. Yeah. So Josie, her and 3 other women do the Wrongful Pod. Well worth a listen if you haven't done it. I know I plug it all the time, but genuinely, it's one of the best podcasts out there. She's got an endearing voice as well, where you can actually be soothing listening to a story. So please go and watch the Wrongful Pod, wrongfulpod.com, and see a little bit more about Zachary Anderson story if you don't know about it. Even if you do know about it, still go listen, refresh, see what the mistakes were, see what the damage was. In the same way that we're listening to Matt, seeing how corrupt the police were, in the same way that we can listen to the Wrongful Pod and understand in the same way. And here she comes. As Dylan only talking for 64 minutes. I get accused of talking a lot. I don't think I do, but Eric, you say I do. I don't know. Anyway, right, let's get on with the trial then. I see a lot of questions. Thank you guys. Don't think I'm ignoring you because I'm not. But I mean, as I say, I try and select what we can and can ask. So, right, let's get on here.
Are you aware as to whether or not that location had been searched prior to the date that her body was found? And do you remember, Detective, that your answer was, quote, "We did have people searching on foot as well as a cadaver dog in that area"? And then next question, prior to the date she was located, your answer, yes, ma'am. Do you remember that testimony and questioning?
I remember testifying about it. I don't remember if that was my exact answer, but I won't dispute that. And
you would agree with me and tell me if, would it refresh your recollection? I'm happy to approach.
Sure.
Your Honor, if I may. I've already shown the state. I haven't marked it.
Okay.
Thank you. And just for purposes of the record, the proceeding that I just asked you about was on November 25th of 2020. Does that sound familiar?
That sounds accurate.
And let me just make sure now that you've had a chance to refresh your recollection. There was questioning during that hearing about the area where she was found, she being Emily. Do you recall that questioning?
Yes.
And the word that was used during questioning was the area, was it not?
Yes.
And you indicated that the remains were found in the wooded area just east of the condo complex where she resided. Do you remember giving that information under oath?
Yes.
And then the question, are you aware as to whether or not that location had been searched prior to the date that her body was found? And you answered, did you not, Detective? We did have people searching on foot as well as a cadaver dog in the area. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes.
Through the course of your investigation, you learned that there was a woman that resided at that last house named Katie Clark. Did you not?
That's correct.
And I have put an X on the house. Let me clear it. So, and it is, when I said the last house on Crossings Drive, it's the last house before county line. Correct?
Yes.
You learned that Ms. Clark lived there through a Facebook post that she had made. Do you remember that?
I do not.
There was a point during the course of the investigation where you went to Ms. Clark's house.
Yes.
And you interviewed her?
Yes, we did.
And you walked with her from her backyard to where the remains were found?
That's correct.
Ms. Clark, was through your investigation, you learned that she had children?
Yes.
That she was home on Memorial Day weekend?
Yes.
That her children would play in the back of her house there? There was a clearing. Would you agree with me on that?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Response to that?
You learned that there's a clearing on the back of her house. I'll ask visually.
Okay, go ahead and answer the next question.
You've been to her house. You just indicated that.
Yes.
And you're able to see her house as it aligns with the woods. Were you not?
Yes.
There is no fence there?
I can't recall that.
In the picture right here, the woods come pretty close up to their house based on your visual observations, do they not?
Yes, they do.
And do you remember the exact day that you walked with Katie Clark to where the remains had been found?
No, I do not.
If anything of evidentiary value had been noted from or had been obtained from the Katie Clark interview, I presume that you would have put that in your report.
Yes.
I'll just go back to this map while I have it up. Again, showing you Defendant's Exhibit D. I'm going to ask you about surveillance, but surveillance is a technique an investigative technique that that law enforcement can do if they want. Right? You could sit in front of a house and watch to see if there's any suspicious activity.
Yes.
And you don't need a search warrant to conduct surveillance.
Not in that way, no.
Right? I mean, you could just potentially have a unmarked car, let's say, within a distance of a house or school or any kind of structure, and just have law enforcement kind of visually observe if there's anything going on there that is suspicious in any way.
Yes.
I'm just want to make sure the jurors know that you never conducted any surveillance with respect to that house that's located where the bloodhounds tracked on 2 different occasions. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I didn't see in your police report either that you ever requested any CCHs or criminal histories on anyone that lived.
I'll have to stop it there because we got Luna. Luna's in the house. Hi, Luna. I'm not
Hello.
sure you two know.
Hey,
Do you know
Luna.
Luna? Have you met her before?
Mm.
I know she's in
No?
love with murder. I know she's
Mighty, you've never met her, have you? Mighty me, you've never met
No.
Luna, have you?
No, I
This
haven't.
girl, I always say the description. She's drop dead gorgeous, blowjob lips. She's got nice tits, nice hips, nice ass. She's literally the perfect woman, right? Her ideal man that she wants to obviously have sex with is Alex Murdoch. Like literally, she's 27 and
Really?
drop dead gorgeous, absolutely, but a complete weirdo. She's got
Huh.
nothing like she's absolutely loose as hell. But I love the girl. I love her so much. But she is, I don't know.
Hey, Dylan can get away with murder. I'll tell you that. Dylan can get away with murder.
I describe her as that because that is it. You know, she knows that. You know, so she knows. I don't say anything to offend her whatsoever. She knows how I describe her. She loves it. You know, yeah. Don't trash our guests. Oh, it's only Luna. It's only Luna. Right, so Luna, lovely to see you, my darling. Thank you for coming in. Thanks for the text as well. Always welcome here, Luna. So lovely to see you. Come here back more often, man. So yeah, there we are.
In that house or in and around that area. Would you agree with me on that?
That's correct.
I know that you testified during your direct that you interviewed those individuals, or did you interview one individual or more than one?
Detective Peachy did.
Okay, and you weren't participating in those
No,
interviews?
no, ma'am.
You're just aware of it because through the course of your investigation.
Yeah, yes.
And North State here, describe what kind of road that is.
It's a paved blacktop roadway. Typically in that area, usually you have a northbound lane, southbound lane, and then usually like a center left turn lane.
And this driveway right here goes right into North State, does it not?
Yes, it does.
And I just want to make clear, it's a fairly, I don't want to say wide, but it is because you've been there, right? It's probably 2 cars at least could fit in that driveway as you pull in.
It is pretty wide, yes.
This is where the dogs led them on Tuesday to this guy's house.
Yeah.
And this is what they put
Showing
into
you what's
that.
What?
Right. This is what the cops put into that. This is what they did. The dogs led them right to this spot twice, 2 weeks apart. This is the first time the first day, Tuesday, the first time the dogs led them there. And they knock on the guy's door and let it roll. They'll tell you what
previously
the
been
cops
marked as State's Exhibit 73. I just want to make sure, Detective, that when I was listening to your direct examination testimony about this, do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
This is the screenshot that Matt Moore sent you with respect to someone that had been texting him about a ransom.
Correct.
You in no way are trying to say that Matt Moore sent these text messages to himself, right?
It's speculation. I never got to that day get the phone so we could start analyzing it.
What do you,
But you did get the
fuck.
phone, right?
Sorry.
Okay.
The next day.
The minute
how
you
the
say it's
fuck did you see
speculation,
that
I was,
coming, Grubs? He just told you that he didn't look into a ransom text because he didn't get the fucking phone, but he got the phone the next day with the fucking warrant.
That's what
this guy just
that's
lied
right.
to
that's
you.
what I was thinking as well. I was thinking
He
exactly the
just
same.
lied to everyone. I didn't analyze that. I couldn't analyze to figure out if the ransom text was credible evidence or not because I didn't have the phone to analyze it because Matt didn't give it to me. He thought that was going to make me look like I wasn't cooperating. You know what I mean? But what it did is it made him look like a fool because he got the phone the next day with a warrant. Unfucking believable. Why don't I have a lawyer right now? Why aren't I in court suing them for wrongful prosecution? Because you can't. He can lie in the stand. They got it covered.
Mm-hmm.
But this is really good lawyering I didn't tell Diane about that. She figured that out on her own. I mean, I was trying to tell people. Trust me, I was trying to tell people. But you're in jail. You can't on the phone. You have these lawyer visits, and you can just, there's just so much. But Diane figured that out. And I hope you can understand that. I mean, everybody out there, I hope you understand what this man just did. I mean.
Right? On the 27th, when you executed the search warrant.
Yes.
And you have a complete cell-right download of that.
Okay.
Do you not?
Yes.
And you heard the testimony from Howe about incognito and whether or not if it appears or not on the download. You heard that testimony?
Yes.
Yes.
So of course, that data, that extraction speaks for itself, does it not?
Yes, it does.
Also, just want to go to the bottom here, just so we're clear, and it's not the clearest, but if you would agree, in the visuals that you've been shown, the bubbles are different colors, are they not, in these exhibits?
In the
Like the text messages, like one user might be blue and another might be green.
yes.
Okay, and you see this line right down here is a green line.
Yes.
through the course of your investigation, you had an opportunity to speak with, without talking about the contents of the conversation, you had an opportunity to speak with an individual named Angel Kessler, did you not?
No, never spoke with her.
Okay, that was Detective Peachy then.
I take that back. The only time I did talk to her was trying to track down current addresses and everything before the proceedings began in the last couple weeks. But as part of the investigation itself, no, I don't recall ever talking to her.
Fair to say that I think on page 46 of your summary, you talk about getting records from Serenity Behavioral Health Services.
That's correct.
And if you know, Angel Kessler was a counselor at Serenity Behavioral Health Services between August of 2019 and January of 2020.
I can't recall the dates, but yes, she was a counselor there.
Through the course of your investigation, did you obtain records from Serenity Behavioral Health that belonged to Emily Noble?
Yes, we did.
Specifically, Serenity Behavioral Health. Those were counseling records.
Yes.
If I may approach, Your Honor. I've been trying to witness what I've marked as Defendant's Exhibit S. If you could just look through those, Detective.
She's establishing.
Do you recognize?
Which she, if you notice, she kind of went from the dog going to the house, and then she kind of describes that, and then all of a sudden she pops over to the ransom text, and now she's going on to something else. And she's not explaining to you why she's talking about what she's talking about. What she's doing is she's making the case that they never developed any other suspects but me, and there was plenty of opportunity for them to do that, but they literally tunnel vision right out of the box. It's the husband. We don't care that the dogs went to that house. We knocked on the door. We talked to this guy for whatever they talked to him. Grubbs never even talked to him. It was the other detective. The lead detective didn't even talk to the guy who owns the house that the dogs brought them to. They didn't even go in his house to look for her. Why didn't they look into the ransom text? She's showing you that no other suspects were ever developed. It's tunnel vision, and she's really good at it. I mean, that's what she's doing right now. So if you're wondering why is she mentioning all these things and she's not elaborating on any of it, she does later. She connects the dots later.
Okay.
I do.
And what are they?
This is a copy of the results we received from Serenity Behavioral Health.
These are the Emily Noble's counseling records. Would you agree with me that, though they aren't, there's a fax header on the top of the records. Would you agree with me that the records themselves show page 43 of 43?
Yes, I do.
And also attached is an affidavit and a fax cover sheet. Would you agree with me on that?
Yes.
These appear to be a fair and accurate copy of the counseling records that you received for Emily Noble from Serenity Health?
Yes, they do.
You've heard some testimony. I'm assuming that in your capacity as a detective, you're familiar with what FMLA is.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is that?
It's the Family Medical Leave Act.
And based on your knowledge, to qualify for FMLA, you have to have some kind of either physical or mental health disability. Do you not?
That sounds accurate.
You, through the course of your investigation, learned that Emily Noble, after Joey's suicide, applied for FMLA.
I had heard that from, I can't remember who it was, but somebody had told me that during the investigation, yes.
And you certainly know that for a 3 or 4 month time after his suicide, she did not work.
Correct.
From those records, they knew that Emily was suicidal. They knew that she was suicidal even prior to getting those records. But that was the main piece of evidence, because now you have a professional doctor or counselor or whatever saying, hey, Emily has problems. They did everything that they could to keep that out of the it's evidence that they got. They went out and got that evidence and put it in discovery and then tried to keep it out. More she's just demonstrating more evidence that they were keyed in on me. And if it didn't have anything to do with me, they just did everything they could do to just not bring it, not think about it, not use it to try to find the truth. So she's just going from one thing to the next. I mean, you find a girl apparently who hung herself, you subpoena her mental health records, and it says within the mental health records that she's fucking suicidal. And you're like, oh, whatever. Let's pretend like that doesn't exist. They probably won't find that. I mean, how could they think that this lawyer wasn't going to go into her records and find this evidence? It's because they don't care. It doesn't matter.
I'll just say it because it sounds like, based on what you just said right now, Matt, it sounds a lot like the reason why they were going through this defense this attack where they were trying to make you out to be a criminal mastermind is basically saying that because you knew that, and because did they call before I continue, did they call your mental state into question? Like say for example, did they believe that you were stressed out or really having hatred towards Emily before she died?
The only evidence they had of that is they had John Kramer's, the neighbor from across the street, saying that he heard an argument a few weeks prior. Not true. Emily and I never yelled at each other. Emily couldn't yell at. She was like a bird. She was a 95-pound bird. She couldn't raise her voice. She wouldn't know how to. Well, anyway, they had that, and they had these text messages, right? Right. And I think you've heard them. I called her shallow one day. There's no. Go ahead.
This makes sense because what they were trying to do, at least what I'm deducing from everything you've said, because since they did raise it, then it seems to me that they were basically saying that because because of this alleged thing, they're saying, oh, okay, he was mad at her, etc., then that would mean he had the intention to use the fact that she was suicidal against her and basically committed the act, bury it.
That's very good.
Did they actually argue that?
That would be that I'm orchestrating this thing, right? I mean, that would.
Oh, they actually argued it. Oh my god.
I don't think that they don't connect any dots. They don't. I hear what you're saying. I never really even thought of that. That I was at that level. You know what I mean? Like he's so smart that he knows he's gonna find. I mean, maybe even to the point you go a step past that and like he's purposely making her crazy, so she goes into her therapist and says and says these crazy things, knowing that eventually it's gonna help him at trial when they don't try to do that. And I don't think they're thinking on that level, Doctor. I really don't. The cops,
I'm surprised they didn't even try it. I would. I mean, if I was on them, I'd definitely like, oh yeah, but he knew. So what is the, you can't basically say,
I hear you.
I'm trying. That's weird. That's actually
that'd be a good movie, right? That would be be a really good movie, like a movie script. I don't think that. The thing about it is they knew she had problems right away.
Yeah.
I mean, I was keeping it from them because I didn't want to give them the free pass to come and get her and take her away to the loony bin, and they will when you say, hey, she's suicidal. I think there's something wrong. And as soon when she came back from wherever she was, they just would have took her away, and they did that to my son. And I wasn't going to allow that, so I just didn't. I kept suicide out of it as much as I could. I mean, I mentioned the first day, Hollis. I mentioned suicide, and then I definitely mentioned suicide in the interrogation, right when they're screaming at me. Eventually I felt the pressure. I'm like, she might have killed herself. I don't know. It's the only thing I can think that would happen. They knew I mean, if you're a decent investigator, I mean, unless you're not looking for it, you don't want to know it's there, and that's tunnel vision. So I don't know.
That actually makes sense now, because I was thinking, why wouldn't they bring it up? Because you need a lot of evidence to prove that, and I'm guessing they didn't bring it up because they didn't have the evidence. Because it's the first. I don't know. I mean, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they actually thought about it. Like, it wasn't a unique thought that I just had. Like, I actually believe they probably thought about it. They looked at the evidence like, yeah, we can't do it. In fact, we might even damage our own case by actually going with this line of questioning. I'm
right.
Like, I'm convinced they didn't have the evidence to actually do it if they did think about it. But yeah, it shows how thin this case is, which is what I was trying to say all along. Yeah, all along. Sorry.
And you look at it, and what's the percentage of times when cops show up at a situation like that? How many? What's the percentage of it turning out to be a suicide opposed to a murder? There's way more suicides than murders. Way more. Just reason alone. I mean, what made them think murder so quickly? I mean, why? There was no evidence of any foul play. What? And I'm telling you, Tuesday, they were thinking murder. Tuesday, they were collecting DNA. They were. I mean, it was on, right? They picked murder Tuesday. I don't know why. Just because they wanted it to be murder, and they're just rookie cops. They're just not good at what they do. They're horrible. I mean, at least be good at it. I mean, I'm in jail. Imagine being in jail thinking I got all this money, all these powerful people think I did this thing. They're gonna plant evidence. They're gonna do something, right? They got to do something. They got to have evidence of something. Nothing. Nothing. Because they don't care. It doesn't matter. Like I've said before. I mean, bring it to trial. It's a win-win for them. What happens to them if they win? What's going to happen to them if they lose? Nothing.
Well, and I think that's Dr. Hines. I think that's part of the complex theory. They didn't need the complex theory because that was never the intention. The intention was just see what we can throw at a wall. There was never any actual thought of conviction, or they could have done something more.
They were inundating the jury with evidence, and this I got from Mighty Meat. It has an effect on the jury. They're like, gee, I must be missing something. Look at all this energy they put into this thing. There was more evidence in my case than in any trial that Diane Menashe or my other attorney, Court Gatterdan, had ever seen before, ever. And there was no evidence. Literally.
Nothing.
No, 30,000 pages of discovery, and it's all, well, here you go, the defense attorneys, good luck figuring it out. And good luck jury figuring it out. And they just start saying things, and they just inundate them with so much information, and that works. They get convictions. It's a tactic. But when you got Diane Menashe as your attorney, it doesn't. But I don't know why they thought they were going to get it over on her. But
just keep throwing shit at the wall.
Like Mighty Meat said, they just keep bringing up stuff. They never connect dots. There's no reason. It doesn't mean anything. But there's so much of it. Sometimes that can overwhelm a jury's intellect, and they're like, and some people, like back in the day when, like, I mean, you had someone up there, black people. I'll tell you, one of the first things Diane Menashe said to me. She said, "Well, just be thankful you're not black." Yeah. Imagine that. You're just gonna, if you're a black person, you're living in a white community or whatever. That's just a strike against you.
Yeah. It is. It's tough to talk about. But
I'm glad you said that. No, we need more people like Matt and yourself actually saying it, because when we say it, it seems like we're going crazy. But
that was one of the first things Diane Menashe said to me. She goes, "Just be thankful you ain't a black dude." I was like, okay, now I get it. Wow. I get it now. Yeah, man. They don't care they're just trying to get a win. They're just trying to get a conviction.
Right. And
they're not even doing that. If you go another step above that, they don't even care if they win or not. They're just trying to justify their means to the public. It's in my book. I explain it in my book. It's once you won't believe it until you go through it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. And you have to be on the inside. If you're not on the inside, you probably don't think it's real. or are you just being? He's just being paranoid or whatever. I'm telling you, once you're in it, you see it. Oof, it's horrifying.
So there's another trial coming up that Erin Hack. It's the only time I've ever agreed with Erin Hack. There's another trial coming up for Karen Reid, and I think that similar to your case, she says the defendant has to do the expensive investigation because the state shifted the burden to the defendant. So that happened to you, and it seems to be happening to Karen Reid as well. So that's going to be an interesting trial. I'm starting to cover it now. I don't believe that she should even be here.
That's cop on cop crime, which to me is just that's the most entertaining thing on the internet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, cop on, fantastic. I'm sorry, and that might be a little cold, but
I just don't think that she should have been arrested. I don't think she's there's enough there personally yet to think that she actually alleviated him. Obviously, a lot of people have different opinions on that one. We got people talk about it now. Erin's a big fan. Erin loves Turtle Boy. I'm not a big fan of Turtle Boy, but yeah, I'm covering it anyway. So anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going off the tangent now. But that's just another case that is going to be similar to yours in some way, Matt. I think something I'm excited to cover. But I want to concentrate on Karen Reid, not the side piece, of Turtle Boy. Because for me personally, Turtle Boy is a put off of the trial. But I understand he's done good work as well. So anyway, let's get on to Matt and this trial. But a good point of reference.
And then she returned to work.
Yes, she did.
On initially a part-time basis, and then went back on a full-time basis.
Correct.
And then in mid-March, we know that the governor issued a stay-at-home order because of COVID.
Yes, ma'am.
There were dental records. We heard from Sarah Johnson at the dental office. There were dental records obtained as well through the course of your investigation. Is that right?
Yes.
I want to talk about circling back about some records perhaps that I didn't see, but tell me if I just missed it, Detective. There were two people that testified to, and I know I saw it in your supplement, that you had information that Matt Moore had a TBI or traumatic brain injury.
Relevance.
We'll see. Go ahead.
Do you remember that the testimony that two different individuals indicated that they knew Matt Moore had a traumatic brain
Objection,
injury?
Your Honor, hearsay.
He didn't answer whether we knows it.
New.
Testimony as part of my investigation?
No, in the court here, there was two different witnesses that said they knew that they believed he had a traumatic brain injury.
I honestly can't recall that.
Fair to say that with respect to, we talked about the records that you or your law enforcement obtained for Emily Noble. You never, through the course of your investigation, obtained or requested any medical records for Mr. Moore.
No.
And you can do that in the capacity of law enforcement by issuing a subpoena, can you not?
That's correct.
You send a subpoena, let's say to Serenity Behavioral Health for the records, and then they comply with the subpoena and they send the records to you.
That's correct.
Want to go to your progress of investigation report. I know we mentioned it on Friday, but as a reminder, it's 80 pages. Does that sound right?
It does.
And it is a document, it appears, that was a working document. Right?
Yes.
So as you learn things, you would supplement the report?
Supplement my progress report?
Yes. Yes. And in fact, the first entry appears, and let me know if you need to refresh. The first entry in your progress of investigation is for Tuesday, May 26, 2020.
Yes.
And the last entry is for Wednesday, June 9th of 2021.
Okay.
Would it refresh?
Yes, please.
If I may, Your Honor? Does that date look right, Detective?
Almost lost your spot. It does.
Thank you. So the 80 pages of investigation covers a year plus amount of time.
Correct.
I obviously know that you were in the courtroom when John Kramer testified.
Yes.
And you had an occasion during your investigation in this case to speak with John Kramer a number of times.
Correct.
There is certainly no doubt, based on Officer Hollis's body cam, that when John Kramer was first asked whether or not he had seen Emily Noble that day being the day Matt called the police, so the 25th, he said he had between 9 and 10.
Yes.
There's no question about that.
Yes.
Okay. And we know that was the
Peaceful.
initial information. We know that because there's the press release as well that says, that comes from your office. I believe it's G. Do you recall the press release that I showed earlier to the members of the jury?
Yes, I do.
I assume that as important things developed, you included them in your progress report.
Yes.
You would agree with me that the value of a report like that, like your 80-page report, is because you want to document things as they happen so that you don't lose the memory or the accuracy of the information.
Yes.
Because I've asked this before and you've heard me, but memory doesn't get better with time.
Correct.
And as through the course of your work, you know that in a setting like this, having a report, right, of things that were said to be able to refer to is an incredibly helpful tool.
Yes.
Over the weekend, I reviewed the progress report, and I did a search for the words John Kramer, vodka, and cigarettes.
Okay.
Okay.
Would you be surprised to know that nowhere in your progress report does it say anything about John Kramer being asked by Matt Moore to buy vodka or cigarettes?
That would surprise me.
It would surprise you.
Yeah.
Do you remember the date that you believe that John Kramer gave you that information?
Gotcha.
Maybe during the. I'm guessing. I can't say for
Fucking
sure.
dummy.
But
Look at that fucking. Look at that dummy.
Might just
Look
go
at
to the
that
morning
fucking
break.
people.
I'm happy to show your report to you
Okay.
over the break. But that would be important information, would it not?
Certainly would. Certainly would.
Yes.
And we know from the search of the house on May 27th that there were pictures taken of the whole interior residence, right?
That's correct.
There was no like empty bottles of vodka. There was no ashtrays seen in the photographs, correct?
I can only testify based on the photographs because I wasn't in the residence for the search warrant.
So, and we have the photographs which memorialize everything that the officers saw and potentially thought of evidentiary value.
Correct.
And that's the whole purpose of photographs. It's like your investigative report, right?
Correct.
We memorialize what we see and what we hear and what we observe as close to current time as we can, because that's when our memory is best.
Yes.
I got done.
Yep.
a big piece of evidence was that they had John Kramer testify that he smelt smoke in the condo on, I think it was Tuesday. He said he smelt it. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Or Monday. So I'm smoking in the condo right on Monday, Tuesday, right when I call her in, right? That's what they're saying. And that's evidence that I know she's not coming home, because Emily would have never have allowed that. That's compelling, right?
Wow, that's
They
a
didn't-
stretch.
Diane's where's the cigarette smoke? Where's this, where in your fucking evidence, your little report, where is it, does it say that John Kramer bought cigarettes and alcohol for Matt, like he's testifying for you?
Jeez.
Where's all, if that's such compelling evidence, where are all the other people saying that I was smoking in the condo? There was fucking people all over the place. Why would they put John Kramer on the stand and make that a point when it wasn't true and we can prove it wasn't true? Because it's just fodder. It literally doesn't mean anything. It just makes Matt look bad. Can we prove that it actually happened with cigarette butts being in the condo, with an alcohol bottle being in the condo? You did a trash pull. Where are all the cigarette butts? There would have been evidence of some sort of smoking around. There isn't any, because I wasn't smoking. And that's what she's proving to you right now. That's Diane proving to you that I was not smoking in the condo, like they said I was. She's just going from one thing to the next. I mean, just that alone, that would be rather compelling. I'll ask you guys, if I was smoking in the condo on Monday, that would be fucked up, right? I mean, if Emily didn't allow smoking at all, she was a neat freak. There was no way she was going to allow any kind of cigarette smoking going on in the condo. Yeah. And I'm lighting up on Monday, because I know she's not coming home, right? So that's compelling.
I agree.
It will prove that he was smoking in the condo. Well, you got a guy across the street who was the last guy to see her alive. You know what I mean? That told everybody he saw her on Monday, and then obviously changes the story because they need me to be the last person to see her alive the night before. I'm not saying John Kramer did anything, because I maybe he could have, but I don't see it. But they definitely are that evidence. She's just dismantling their arguments. One piece of evidence, she just goes to the next. That's why she's talking about this. It might not seem like much, but they brought it up. Hey, he's smoking in the condo. She's like, no, he wasn't. And that's what she's doing. It's good lawyering right here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Showing you now, my co-counsel is what was previously marked as Defendant's Exhibit G. I just want to circle back about the John Kramer. This was an immediate press release that was issued on May 26th by your department.
Tuesday. The next day.
Right?
Yes.
And it says Emily Noble, 52, was last seen around 9 a.m. on Monday, May 25th.
Case closed.
Yes, it does.
And we know that information is not information that Matt Moore gave you, because Matt Moore indicated the last time he saw her was when they went to bed.
No, last time he saw her was when he got up to pee and she was still in that sleep.
Not true.
Right, when he got up to pee
Not
around
true.
1:30 in
Yes,
the
ma'am.
morning,
Yeah.
and he left their bedroom and went into the second bedroom and went to the bathroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't matter anyway. He's fucking lying. John Kramer saw her. Case closed, man. Eyewitness.
Something else I thought about.
This Aaron Hack says, Matt, what convinced me in your innocence was the video in the garage when you were questioned. It was the deep breath you took when they asked you about Emily's state of mind. I knew you knew.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
That would be.
How do you prove that? I mean, your instincts are right. Whoever that is, I mean, your instincts were right. I mean, I was struggling with this, with me knowing that she had problems. But when the dogs went around and searched and they didn't find her, I was just relieved. I was just, thank God. I mean, this is just she just went somewhere. This is a misunderstanding. But yeah, you could tell that I was struggling with And I didn't want to tell him. I really didn't want to tell him. I was just like, because once you tell them that, it's I've seen it. They come and they take you off. You go to the loony bin, and Dr. Hines he's mentioned it. He had some issue or something. He knows they put you in those rooms with the TV, and it's horrible.
It's the
But it
worst
had
one.
nothing.
That's
had
the
nothing
worst
to do
part.
with like what they're what they're trying to. They're trying to put this thing together as if like I'm a mastermind. It's really easy to see. Whoever that person is, thank you for for saying that.
Yeah, that's Aaron Hack. That's Aaron Hack. Yeah. Okay, hang on.
John Kramer's testimony over the weekend. He testified that you were able to hear about arguing that he had heard between Matt and Emily roughly a week or two before she went missing. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
And he indicated that he was out having a cigarette and heard the arguing and didn't know why, but he remembered hearing it.
Yes.
Wait, did you say that he was out smoking?
He
the other guy
testified.
smoked too.
The other guy
said
that I was. Oh well, that's clearly him attributing him smoking to you. That's clear what's happening. If he's smoking, he's gonna assume, oh, Matt is smoking as well. That's why he'll be out.
He
Sorry,
I don't know
sorry.
what. John Kramer from across the street told everybody on Monday that he saw Emily between 9 and 10. By Wednesday, when they interrogated me, he had changed his story. He said that he didn't know whether it was that Monday that he saw her or the Sunday, the day prior, which would have been Sunday.
Right.
Which, because he saw Emily all the time going for walks, and I find that kind of hard to believe. But okay, it might have been the day before, because he's old. He was only 59 when this happened. I think he wasn't even 60.
Right.
He's like, oh, I can't remember anything. But Sunday we weren't there. We were in Butchville, Ohio, the day before. So it was Monday when he saw her. It couldn't have been Saturday. You think he could have been 2 days off the same day that he saw her? It might have been 2 days before. I doubt it. Which left him, if he saw her Monday morning, the last person to see her alive, and he didn't want to be that. You don't want to be the last person to see someone alive.
Then you're a suspect.
So his story changed. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what day you need me to see her? I don't know. When? Okay. It was Sunday, and okay, Sunday. We weren't there Sunday. I mean, they didn't see that coming.
That should have been it. To be honest, that should have been the end of the case. That should have been
Case
the end
closed.
of the case.
They have a witness that sees Emily after the fact. There's an eyewitness, and then so to cover that up. I mean, it was so quick too. They were like, "We need Matt to be the last person to see her alive. John Kramer can't see her on Monday. We need to get him to be like, we need just say the day before. Well, the day before, did you even check to see if we were there the day before or not? No, because they're not thinking. They're playing checkers. They're literally checkers. That's how dumb these cops are. At least find out if we were there on Monday before you, or we were there on Sunday before you make this thing up to create this fucking narrative that you're trying to create. But they're just stupid.
Yeah.
So literally,
not brilliant.
I mean, I'm not gonna say they're stupid, but I mean they're not thinking. They're not thinking about solving anything. They're trying to close the case. It's different. And whether they lose or win, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. They win every time. They win.
Especially Grubbs. That guy's fucking stupid.
He's incompetent, and he has so much power. They let him walk around Westboro with a gun. Get out of there. Just leave, please.
Yeah. Right. Let's play a little bit more then. See where we're at.
Distance from his garage to their house.
Approximately maybe 60 feet.
And you would agree generally that that's a pretty quiet area there.
Yes, it is.
In that like kind of back part of Abbey Cross.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not a busy road. It's sort of at the end. It's not being well traveled or anything like that.
Correct.
A holiday weekend. Memorial Day was a holiday weekend.
I guess I don't understand your question.
The time frame we're talking about was a holiday weekend.
The time frame for her disappearance, yes. If you're referring to the argument, no, it was before that.
Fair enough. So then he testifies about hearing from his house an argument, loud voices, screaming. But I want to make sure he never says that about the night of the 25th,
That's correct.
nor the morning of the 26th.
That's correct.
Right.
I want to talk about physical evidence or lack thereof. With respect to, there was a GPS put on Matt Moore's car, was there not?
Yes, there was.
On May 27th of 2020.
Yes.
So the jurors understand it. To get a GPS authorization to put a tracking device on someone's car, you fill out a search warrant.
Yes, ma'am.
And you ask a judge, you attach an affidavit to the search warrant as to why you want it. And a judge reviews it and then authorizes it or not.
Correct.
You did that process with respect to the GPS for Matt's car.
A detective electee did that process.
But it's through the course of the overall investigation, this was done.
It was done, yes.
And GPS stands for Global Positioning System, right?
Correct.
And the beauty of a GPS tracking device is that the person doesn't know that it's on their car.
Correct.
You surreptitiously put the tracking device on the car so that the person doesn't know.
Correct.
And then you're able, through the tracking device and software, to see where that person drives or does not drive.
Or
Correct.
And that was important because you wanted to see, did you not, if Matt Moore, where he was driving, putting up defendant's exhibit D again. Right, detective?
Yes.
And after Emily's remains were found on September 16th of 2020, you went back, did you not, and reviewed the GPS data?
After her body was found?
After her remains were found.
I don't recall that.
The GPS was on Matt Moore's car for 2 weeks.
That sounds correct, yes.
There is nothing of any evidentiary value from the GPS, correct?
No.
And it was put on the Ultima?
Yes, it was.
And you were aware through the course of your investigation that the Ultima was the car, was like Matt's car, and the Subaru was Emily's car?
Yes, ma'am.
With respect to the surveillance of, or the investigation done with respect to other people living in the neighborhood, there was a neighborhood canvass, was there not?
Yes, there was.
And everyone that lived up and down Abbey Cross and in the general area, officers went to their doors and knocked to see if they knew anything or had heard anything.
Correct.
One resident reported hearing screaming or anything of a noise out of the ordinary on the night of the 25th,
That's correct.
nor the morning of the 26th.
Correct.
No one that was living in that general area had any Ring cameras or any type of camera on their house that might have shown anything. Is that correct?
We checked for Ring cameras and couldn't find any.
Right. And that's something that is now kind of in the world we live in, something you always think people might have, right? They might have Ring cameras or door cameras, and there might be potential evidentiary value there.
Absolutely.
We have none of that in this case.
No, we don't.
There was no other kind of surveillance, any cameras on County Line Road or anything of the like that would have captured any video from the 25th or 26th. Is that correct?
Can you rephrase your question?
Sure. County Line Road.
Mhm.
Defendant's Exhibit D. Are there cameras along County Line Road?
And that's part of why I wanted you to rephrase it, because I didn't know how far out you were talking on county line. So in this area, not that I'm aware of, no.
And in this area, we're talking like between Crossing and, how about we just say Windermere Place?
That's accurate.
No cameras in that area.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
And then with respect to Abbey Cross or this general area, there's no ring cameras or anyone that has any kind of video from the 25th or 26th. Is that correct?
Correct.
The search warrant that was executed on 46 Abbey Cross on March 27th.
May 27th?
I'm sorry, May
Okay.
27th.
Yes, ma'am.
There was an inventory sheet of the items that were taken from the house.
That's correct.
You would agree with me? One more. Showing you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 10. You recognize this photo, Detective?
I do.
You would agree with me that the shirt, and we know this from other photos, that Matt Moore is wearing in this picture on the night of May 25th is a short sleeve shirt.
Yes, ma'am.
You would agree with me that that shirt was seized during the search warrant?
Yes, ma'am.
And in fact, when I came to look at the physical evidence, were you in the room when I pulled out, there was a mask still in the pocket?
No.
Okay. A mask like a COVID
COVID mask? Okay.
Yes. You were in and out, so I wasn't sure if you were
Yeah,
there.
no, I missed that part.
But the shirt is in evidence.
Yes.
And as you do when you take evidence from a scene, it's best practice to note where the item is taken from.
Correct.
And the shirt that is pictured here as Matt wearing on May 25th at Cobley
Yes, ma'am.
was found in the hamper.
Yes, ma'am.
That shirt, was that submitted for testing?
I don't think it was. No.
And when I say submitted for testing, you have the ability to submit items for forensic analysis as the lead investigator, do you not?
Yes.
And you can take it to PCI
Yes.
and ask them to do, a number of things with respect to trace evidence.
Yes.
You could ask them to test an item to see if it's positive for serology, for blood,
Yes.
for semen,
Yes.
for any kind of trace evidence, or you could ask for, right?
Correct.
Let me find a picture of Emily with the flags. One moment. Showing you what's previously been marked as Defendant's Exhibit P. Recognize this, Detective.
I do.
There was also, and there was another photo where I asked you on Friday about the booties that she was wearing. Do you remember that?
Booties?
The shoes.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
Arger. Arger.
Fair enough about the word booties. You know? Show you what's
Yeah,
been
this ain't no
marked
rap
as
video.
Defendant's Exhibit H. Do you remember that line of questioning?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's me that called these booties, not you. so.
Okay.
But remember, I compared the photograph of her in the Field of Heroes And then I asked you to look at these shoes that were found in the garage on the 27th, and you agreed on Friday that they appeared to be the same.
Correct.
And there's even here, like these are black things. They're actually, according to the inventory log, socks that were also taken.
Yes.
You are aware from the photographs of Emily Noble at Field of Heroes that she's wearing a black mini skirt. Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
And remember during Officer Hollis's body cam, where he's walking through the residence with Matheau Moore on the 25th, Matt Moore takes Officer Hollis into the closet, showing you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit O. Do you remember that part of the body cam?
Yes, I do.
And in this general area right here, would you agree that he picks up an item and says to Officer Hollis, this is the miniskirt that she was wearing when we went out yesterday?
Yes.
When you executed the search warrant, that miniskirt was still in the closet, was it not?
Yes.
And that miniskirt is actually in the physical evidence, and it was taken from the house.
Yes, it was.
So between the 25th and the search warrant being executed on the 27th, the skirt, as you know, it is still there.
Yes.
Was that submitted for any forensic testing?
I don't believe so, no.
I can tell you why she's asking that, if you want to know. What she's done is she's established that Emily ties her shoes in a certain way earlier.
Yes.
It's a very unique thing. She can make she was able to do these knots. Someone taught her how to make knots. Emily, obviously clothes were changed, right? How they found her, the clothes they found her in. These are the clothes that she was wearing the night before. So she changed her clothes, right? And someone put her, I mean, according to them, someone would have had to have dressed her, right? After that. From the way she tied her shoes, it couldn't have been me. It would have been hard to prove, but it was something that she was getting in there for later if she needed it. And one of it was the knot. The knot that she used to tie her shoes on wasn't a normal knot. And then maybe the knot that she used to do her thing, it was never established how she made that knot. They brought in Smock, who's apparently is a crime scene expert. And he's determined that this is a staged suicide. They didn't even bring up the knot. He didn't even mention anything about the scene. He just said it was staged. Well, why do you think it was staged? Maybe he would have something to say. Nothing from him. Diane's covering herself for stuff for later on. A lot of it, I think, has to do with appeals. I don't know if maybe you guys know about that.
Yeah.
You're not able, after your court case.
No, that makes sense.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
After if you're convicted and then there's an appeal process, you can't enter anything else into evidence or something weird like that. So she's getting things.
Yeah, you have to cover it. Yeah, you have to, whatever that you want objected or you feel like is done, you have to do it right there and there. For example, if a jury member is sleeping, for example, right, and they could have missed crucial evidence, you can't bring it up in appeal after the trial is done. You got to raise it right there and there so that it's for the record. They do this as well with things that were also done behind the scenes. They also raise it because I think that's all in. It's something to do with motions in limine, but they bring that to the forefront so that it's all for the record, and then it's helpful in appeals. Yeah. So
she's literally playing chess. Really, she's not only thinking about what she's doing right then; she's thinking about this appeals process down the road. So there's a lot of ins and outs of what she's doing right now. But what she's doing with the why is she showing us why her clothes are? These are the clothes that she was wearing. I think that she was trying to establish that Emily dressed herself, whereas because she didn't know if they were going to say I killed her at the condo, and then that brought her up there. She didn't know. No one knew what they were. They didn't even know. I don't think the prosecution didn't know what they were going to say. So because they didn't say anything about what exactly they thought happened until closing, which means you can't
Right.
cross them. I think was a tactic, but it was really weak. I mean, everybody's like, "You're gonna right at the end, you're gonna let us know that this thing happened." In the where they said she went for a walk that she never even went on, dude. So, but the clothes thing. He asked that my shirt that I was wearing that night. She establishes that it's in the laundry, unlaundered. Did you test it? No, we didn't test it. You know, I mean, they're incompetent, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So what we'll do now, we'll finish it now, the stream, because there's a nice spot to finish it there, Matt. Because next week we're going on for 3 hours, so we're going on for 7 because me and Matt are going straight into another stream with
Can't wait
Solomon
for it.
Anderson to talk about Zach.
okay.
So we'll go like obviously it might be Dr. Kynes, you not obviously don't have to stay till the extra hour, but because of that, I think we'll stop it early and then next
We'll
week
be
we
here.
sort of go
Well,
on.
I mean, I'll be here. I'll be here. Don't worry.
I know.
Oh,
I know you will. So that's the reason for us finishing a little bit early. So we got Diane Minagi next week as
Minaj.
well. So
All right,
thank
guys.
you.
Next
Matt.
week.
Next week,
Next-
buddy. See you later, mate.
Later.
All right.
Take care, man.
Peace. See you later.
So we're about to finish. Obviously, have you guys got anything to promote? Anything you want to say or do coming up next week?
Just nothing much. Just if you are interested in legal cases and stuff, that's what I cover on my trial. Sorry, on my channel, not trial, channel. I'm not a lawyer, by the way. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I'm a layman that likes to look at legal cases and break it down the best way I understand it and try and translate it because I can. So I just try to do that there. But yeah, so I'm covering the Jonathan Majors case right now on my channel, and I'm going through the transcripts from the trial. If you don't know, Jonathan Majors is Marvel actor. He was playing Kang the Conqueror. He was accused of assault with his ex-girlfriend, and there have been a lot of information that has not been reported by the press. And yeah, so I'm just going through all of that just to basically just correct any misinformation that's been out there because there's been a lot. So that's basically all I'm doing all this week, as well as speaking to a couple of people that know about DV. All will be live streams this weekend. Just for I promote that. Thank you so much for giving me the floor.
No, that's fine. I know, Mikey, before you go, Mikey, you all right to stay on for a couple of minutes just to chat about Monday as well, for the Monday stream?
Yeah.
Happy days. So, Dr. Hyde, you can bugger off if you want to, my friend. I'm going to stick around with Mighty Meat for a little bit, just to talk about our stream on Monday. But thank you, mate. I really appreciate you as always. Thank you, mate. So, Mighty Meat, have you got anything to promote, buddy?
See you later, man.
Take care, man. So I have a really fun one that I've been doing a lot of work on. So I do History of Detroit, Michigan on Wednesday nights. So I put together a series of interviews of businesses in the area that have been here for a really long time, such as Argus Cameras. And the one I'm really looking forward to is it's called the Willow Run Bomber Plant, and it's right outside of Detroit in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And actually got an interview with the Historical Society and a tour and all kinds of stuff. So we're going to put that together. I'm really excited about that one. That one's coming. I do that Wednesday nights. So, yeah.
Wow, I'll check that out. I love history. I'll check that out. Thank you. I had to stay to hear that out. So so that sounds that sounds really interesting. Like I'll definitely check it out.
I appreciate it. I've been having fun with it. So.
All right.
Cool.
See you later, everyone.
See you later,
see you later, Dylan and Miami. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, take care, man.
Cheers, buddy.
See you.
Take care, man. Just a couple more shout outs here then. Wrongful Pod by Josie. Please make sure you look at that for Zachariah. Story of Zachariah Anderson, especially if you don't know it. If you do know it, please go and listen to that. Also, this is what we're going to chat about after we go offline now, is our new chat sports channel. We'll be live on Monday at 10 o'clock Eastern,
Mhm.
2 o'clock UK time for one of our streams.
Yeah.
If you're into sports, even if you're not into sports, come along. We still have a bit of a laugh, do you know what I mean, anyway. So, and unfortunately for you, I will stop by as usual and bug you with Jack Mike to meet. So that's very unfortunate. That's the important thing about advertising yourself in the future, because you know then Erin Hack's going to be there. So
Yeah.
sorry about that, mate. You know, you got to deal with her. But she was actually good today. She came up with some good questions, which is not like small bus Erin. But well done today, Erin. We might come out with a small bus one day. Evolve Find Mike to meet you. This is his channel as well. Please go and join him. So with that, I mean, so next week for me, as most of you know, we call the joint channel. On Monday there might be a little bit more. Tuesday to Thursday, Kariga trial as usual. We'll see Dunya and everybody. Friday, I'm not sure. I might do some stuff around this Karen Reed stuff as well. Saturday, this again, plus I got Solomon on afterwards. It'll be another stream, but straight after this, we'll have Solomon Anderson on with Matt Moore and myself. So, yeah, looking good. And look at the swearing. Piss off, Paddington. Paddington's here. Paddington's with. Oh, anyway. So
I blame
thank
you for the
everybody.
Aaron Hack thing, by the way, and forever. That's always going to be your fault. So
for
on my
you
channel.
coming to your channel.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. She's a good one. Night
Yeah,
all. Good to see you all here. Emma, good to see you. Right. So bye, Josie. Bye, everyone. Right. With that, guys, thank you very much. Take care. And as always, see you next week. And as I say, we always finish off with a free Zachariah Anderson. Thank you, guys. See you later. Digger and Mike to meet. Love me, admit it. You'll never admit that. See you later, guys. Ta-ra.